Hello everyone, this is LJ with the latest LJ Spurs chat. Hope everyone's well and in good health. Tonight I welcome Big John, aka Crying Lego Head, and Simon. How are you doing, Simon?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm starting to enjoy football a little bit more these days, which is
3 wins in a row for the mighty Spurs, eh? We've got to be happy today, haven't we? We've got to be happy.
Got to celebrate, Lou.
We have got to celebrate. Let's get straight into it before I get your thoughts. Spurs started the match with Vicario in goal. Spence was moved to right back. Danzo partnering Gray in the defence. Udogie was back in at left back. And there was Bergvall, Bentancur, Kuwaleski, Johnson, Tell and Son. A lot of people, including myself, to be honest, was not happy that Son and Kulu were in it. But what do we know? And we were proved wrong. So when we proved wrong, I put my hands up. Sorry, Big Ange. Onto the game. Just 30 seconds in, it was a bit of a worrying first 5 minutes for Spurs. Delap races clean through. Vicario pushes the ball out. Jadon smacks it a low effort. That somehow stays out. Vicario is left just standing there with the ball on his goal line. I do not know how Ipswich didn't score. 2 minutes later, Delap again, who's causing us so many problems, bursts down the right into the box, shoots across the goal, just wide. Spurs asleep at this stage. 7 minutes, an Ipswich cross from the right-hand side, a looping header from Delap hits the bar with Vicario beaten. Ipswich should have been 3-0 up. 13 minutes, Spurs finally wake up. Sonny break, beats Godfrey down the left-hand side, cuts it back to Bergvall, whose shot is blocked. Johnson was about to tap home, but Greaves makes a brave challenge. 5 minutes after, again, Son beats Godfrey down the left, crosses low to Johnson, who taps in. 1-0 Spurs straight off the training ground. Ipswich must be wondering how the hell are they losing this game. After a brief lull, on 26 minutes, a copy and paste of the first goal. Son down the left, Johnson crosses in, 2-0 Spurs. 10 minutes later, Clark down the left, crosses in to Hutchinson, who's fine finish into the bottom far corner, 2-1. A great game here at Port Road at the moment. Second half, a quiet start to the half. Spurs much more in control. Nothing really going on until the 64th minute. Bergvall and Kulu link up well as Spurs charge forward. Flick to Johnson, whose shot deflects out for a corner. Unlucky there not to get his hat-trick. 4 minutes later, Johnson and Udogie were taken off for Maddisman and Porro. And on 77 minutes, some lovely footwork from Madders inside the Ipswich box. Flicked it to Spence, whose shot is deflected into the net. 3-1 Spurs. 6 minutes from time, Spurs break away. Kulu has the ball, cut in from the right-hand side, and curls a beautiful shot in off the far post. 4-1 Spurs. Who would have thought that after the first 5 minutes? To be honest, Kulu has been poor, but that was a lovely goal. Full time, Spurs come out victorious, 4-1. Does that flatter them? Well, the stats say that Ipswich had 41% of possession to Spurs' 59%. Ipswich had 24 shots to Spurs' 14, 6 on target to Spurs' 7, shots off target, Ipswich 12, Tottenham 4. And lads, a brilliant win, especially after the first 5 minutes. But did that score flatter us, Si?
Well, I mean, the thing was, it's just that I think that they just lacked the quality up top. I mean, Delap looks like a decent player, but
yeah,
other than that, I don't think they have enough quality. And you look at it, and we had way fewer chances, which is much more clinical.
They were,
and it was good. It was good to see that, like, Sonny was taking people on, and even when Decky broke for his goal, he was sprinting and he looked like he was actually moving rather than like jogging in mud. He looked like he was actually going. So just like,
I wasn't happy. I don't know.
A bit freer.
I was not happy with Kulu up to that point, John.
No, he was awful until then.
Yeah, it's a weird one. And as I said, I wasn't happy to see Son or Kulu start because I thought they both looked knackered. I think you might have been of the same opinion, John, but we were proved wrong, weren't we? We got to admit when we were wrong, haven't we?
Do you know what? They took the piss out of us, them two, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was
much to Kulu. I think the goal was brilliant, but I didn't think he had a good game.
Straight away, I thought to myself, are they listening to our podcast? Are they listening to us and taking the mickey out of us too? Because all three of us said last time, didn't we? They was, you know what I mean? Sonny should take a rest. Yeah. Kulu should take a rest, and they come out and they do this.
I was maybe
that's the first time I've seen Sonny man and go for the touchline in a long time, and he did it repeatedly as well. It wasn't just. I mean, you see, he set up both of Johnson's goals, and he gave that fullback a torrid time.
Yeah, that was Godfrey, wasn't it? Godfrey at the right back there. Yeah.
Is he the one that used to play for Norwich?
Used to play for Everton, I think.
I think he must be Norwich, Everton, and them. He's always.
We was rumoured to be after him, but I don't want him now after watching that, because it was good to see Son do that, because so far this year he's only attacked fullbacks when we're playing weaker opposition. I know Ipswich aren't. I still think, because everyone's going, "Oh, it's Ipswich, it's Ipswich." You know, you get the pessimists, but I still think that they're not getting the points on the board what they deserve, Ipswich. And yeah, it is probably down to not being as clinical, but I think they play some good football. They've played very well in the 2 games against us this season, to be fair. So I don't class them as weak opposition. I think the only weak opposition really is probably Southampton and maybe Leicester. I don't think there's any weak sides in the Premier League this season apart from them 2.
We managed to lose to Leicester as well.
We managed to lose to Leicester. But speaking about Son, we've all moaned at him, haven't we? So I've got a bit here. And when you look at this, it says Heung-min Son has now at least 20 goal involvements in all competitions in the last 9 seasons for Spurs. Starting at 2016-17, 28 games, 21 goals, 7 assists. The following season, 18 goals, 11 assists. Next season, 20 goals, 9 assists. 18 goals, 11 assists. 22 goals, 15 assists. 24 goals, 8 assists. 14 goals, 6 assists. 17 goals, 10 assists. And so far this season, 10 goals and 10 assists in a season where, let's be honest, he's been rubbish, isn't he, John? But when you come out with that, if you could be rubbish and still do 10 goals and 10 assists, that's probably why Ange puts him in, isn't it?
You know what? He pulls things out of the bag, doesn't he?
Which all good players do, don't they?
Yeah, digs deep and pulls it out of the bag. Fair
Do you
play to the
reckon it's got anything to do with that? What was I going to say? That he's had a week off.
Yeah. I mean, this is the 2nd week in a row where we've had all week to prepare.
Yeah.
And we look a different team for it.
Yeah. What did you think?
I think the thing we've always said is, Ange doesn't know what he's doing. He's out of his depth. But then there's this other side to it where it's just like, it's just play, rest, play, rest, play, rest. And they're not really training. And I think that they've had 2 weeks where he must have got into them, and
good evening, sir.
It looks completely different.
Yeah. I still thought Kulu was poor, though. I don't want to be negative because we just thrashed him 4-1, but apart from that goal, he was still doing what me and Danny hate, giving stupid fouls away, giving the ball away. And I do think he needs a rest. I really do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He needs proper coaching, I think, as well, Lou.
Yeah, because he's only young, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I want to talk about tonight, right? Because I got someone had to go at me on Twitter. I mean, I'm over it now. Look. I want to know your two's opinion on Brendan Johnson. I'll tell you why first, because I put it on there. This bloke was doing all the we give marks out of 10, which we can do in a minute ourselves, can't we? And I put on there, Johnson didn't do anything except for scores 2 tap-ins, right? This bloke fired back at me saying he's got to get in them positions. And I do agree with that. You have to make the runs, and he does make the runs to the far post. But in my opinion, he don't do anything else. What if
the thing is like that, I guess that's what he's been asked to do. And he's what's he got now? 12 in the Premier League this season?
Well, funnily enough, Simon, I've got his stats here.
I'll go for 10. I'll go with 10, I think he's got.
Right. Last season, he played 23 matches. He got 9 goals, 2 assists. Sorry. That's one down. Last season, he got 5 goals, 10 assists in 32 games. And in 23 this year, he's got 9 goals and 2 assists. But I am under the belief that stats can be deceiving. As I said, I don't want to slate people, but he doesn't track back. He doesn't do anything else, but he does make them runs into the box. And it's a really difficult one for me because I think when you play better opposition, you're going to have to do more than that, surely. Or am I in the wrong? Was the man right to have a go at me? I don't know. I didn't respond. I just blocked him anyway, but it just made me think.
No, I think you're right, Lou. He don't do loads, does he? To be fair, like. You know, he's like a Gary Lineker goal hanger, isn't he?
Well, I do like the fact because it's so obvious and it's straight off the training ground. I've seen it on their training ground so many times. That is what they do. But I've seen,
Decky, as we were just saying, Decky's young. He's 2 years younger, isn't he?
He's 23. Someone said to me last night. 23. Johnson is.
He's 23 now. I thought he was 22.
But then you can moan about Kulu, can't you? I mean, I don't really know where to stand on it because like he done nothing yesterday. But then he comes up for a blinding goal like that. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I think you can get away with it, can't you? Until you start playing the elite teams. That's what I worry about anyway. That's just my opinion. I just thought I'd ask you boys about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll just tell us his name and address, Lou, and we go around and sort him out with the boys.
I remember when everyone was giving him such a hard time, then he went and scored like 8 games in a row. Or whatever.
I think the potential's definitely there. I do think the potential is definitely.
I ain't saying he's completing a poo.
I do. He does frustrate me that he doesn't attack like Sonny was doing yesterday. If he started to done what Sonny done yesterday, I'll be well happy with it. Do you know what I mean? And I just want someone to teach.
I don't think he's got that in his repertoire at the minute. You know,
he's fast enough, ain't he?
Yeah, he's fast enough.
But the one thing he does well is he arrives at the right time.
That's what I'm saying. And I did agree with that. I wasn't disagreeing with him because no one else does that run. I know he's right in what he's saying. So we give the scores out of 10 then for yesterday. For Cario in goal. I thought he was solid.
I didn't see the whole match, so I'm not in a position to.
I'll go for a 7. He was solid.
My favourite player at the moment, Spence. I thought he was a 9 again for me.
Yeah.
In his
9.
And I'm glad he got his goal. Danzo, I thought, made a slight error for the goal, but I think he was a solid 8 still. And I really hope he don't get dropped when the 2 others come back because he's been outstanding, hasn't he, since he come back?
Yeah, I'll go for 7 for him.
Yeah. Gray. I forgot to mention in that.
You forgot to mention the sublime pass, didn't you?
Yeah, I forgot to mention.
Over the top.
You see that, Simon? He had the ball Gray in the centre half position and he pinged like a 30-40 curling pass. Was that for the first goal?
I think so, yeah. For Sonny's first
goal. To run onto. It was sublime pass. A bit like what Toby for Dele Alli. I'll give Gray an 8 for that.
Yeah, I'm going to give him an extra point for that. I'm going to give him a 9.
You doggy? I'll tell you what. I thought he was. I think he knows he's got competition now.
Yeah,
and he was going for it. He was driving like Spence. If he can keep that up, and we got Spence on the other side.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. As soon as he's got a bit of competition, he picks up his game, doesn't he?
But my man in the match, I don't know how much of the game you saw, Simon, to comment, was Bergvall. I thought he was absolutely outstanding yesterday. Strength, a bit of pace, skill. He was running the game for me.
Man of the match, Lou.
Well, that's my man of the match. Yeah, we've all got different. I thought he was brilliant. I really did.
Yeah, you might be onto something there. He was strong, wasn't he? Played some good moves. Yeah. You know.
Bentancur, quietish game for me. Probably a 6.5.
I think that I think Bentancur is like doing the ugly stuff so that Bergvall can do all the pretty stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I'll give him a 6 yesterday.
Yeah. I'm going to give Kuvaleski a 7, but only because of that goal, because it was a sublime finish.
Yeah. 6 plus 1 extra for the goal. I'll give him a 7.
Johnson's going to have to get a 7, isn't he, because of his 2 goals.
Yeah, definitely.
Son's going to have to get it. I'm going to give Son an 8.5.
What was Tell like? That's the one
I felt sorry for Tell because he was making the runs. He was trying little flicks and all that, but it weren't his best game. But you've got to give him a pass because I think he's been really, really good since he came. It weren't his best game, Simon. Do you know what I mean? He didn't do anything massively wrong. He was trying to link the play, just doing what he normally does. But I think the little flicks and one layoffs and that, it just weren't working for him yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just getting into the Prem.
Sorry?
He's just getting into the Prem, isn't he?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It'll be interesting to see how him and Odobert link up because they came through like all of the French age groups together.
Yeah.
Odobert came on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he came on towards the end.
Yeah, so he didn't really get a lot to do, but he's another one. See, we're getting players like Udogie, Spence, Odebear. I love it if you get enough of them in your team, as soon as they get the ball, the first thing they want to do is drive forward and take players on. Something I think we've been seriously lacking, and that is down to the injuries, ain't it? To be fair.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
What did you think of the subs yesterday, Lou?
I thought he made the subs at the right time, which is he has been criticised for before, Ange, but I thought he made them at the right time, and I thought he made the right subs. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially when
I saw Madders came on quite early for Johnson. Was Johnson injured or was he just
64 minutes?
Yeah, I think that I don't think he was injured. I think that he ain't ready to play the full 90 yet, is he? He's probably become extra paranoid now, isn't he, about pushing players too much. Before it was like when we had the first start of the season, even though it was about fifth, wasn't we, before the injury started happening. But there were signs that we were playing well, but he was playing the same 11. So I think he is learning, because when they're coming back from injuries, he's not throwing them straight in for 90 minutes. He's taking them off at the right times. And I think if he gets a squad, that's what he's going to do. I think that is something that he has learned.
Yeah.
I think that's something what he has learned. And I think Madders, I feel a bit sorry for him that he was taken off. Sorry, not starting. But I think his competition is going to be with Kulu, isn't it? It's looking like now when everyone's fit. Do you know what I mean? And there's still no news on Van der Ven. There's still no news on Romero. You're hearing conflicting things.
Yeah, definitely. That's proper conflicting, the news with Van der Ven, isn't it? And Romero.
Yeah, someone texted me yesterday and said, I've just heard that Van der Ven's not playing for the season. Was that you, John?
Yeah. I read that.
They're both.
I think he's going to be back for Alkmaar.
Yeah, they're both coming back for that game. I don't know, man. I think that's a bit of a risk to put two players, especially in the centre.
Danso.
I think you've got to keep that.
Danso, it'd be fine.
I think if it was me, I'd put Van der Ven with Danzo for the first half,
and then swap Romero for second half.
Swap Van der Ven for Romero second half. That's just me, you know what I mean? Because I think Danzo's done well. I mean, I say he made that little slight mistake, but I think it was more of a slip on it, John. It looked like he slipped.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah.
And I've always said this. I am a great believer in, like, going back in the school days. If you slip, they go, I don't mind about it. But now, all over the telly and that, if you slip, it's a massive mistake. It's not a mistake if you slip, is it? It's not.
No,
it's
definitely
there's
not.
a difference between an accident and a mistake.
Mind you, there was a lot of shit-assery at that Ipswich stadium at half-time, weren't there? They soaked the fuck out of the pitch, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, proper soaked the fuck out of it.
I only just got on the stream, John, just in time for the kickoff, because I couldn't find one, to be honest with you.
Well, I was watching the pitch at half-time and I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, I've never seen them soak the pitch so bad. They must have a bit of shit-assery there.
Well, I bet all home teams do it, don't they? But if you notice, if you watch it again, from the kickoff, we were caught so high, even on the kickoff. They were straight through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight through. It should have been 1-0 in fact. I thought it was a goal.
We didn't get going until 15 minutes, Lou, did we?
Eh?
We didn't get going until about 15 minutes.
I said to Harry, 1-0, that's it. Here we go again. And I started going on one, you know what I mean? Because it was so easy. And then they had another chance. That Delap, we're supposed to be interested in him. I know Danny wants us to sign him. He's big and he's strong, and he was unlucky with the shot that went just past the far post.
Yeah.
But I can't see us really being in for him. Can you, Si? Because we've already got Solanke. You'd have to leave one of them out, wouldn't you?
I mean, you look at the way we are in the transfer market at the moment, and it seems to be the way we buy is 1 for now, 3 for later. So he might be one of those ones for later. I don't know. Because they're going down. So. Oh,
yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going down. They got cut. So Wolves got a win. So the gap's what, 5-6 points between Wolves and the bottom three. The bottom three they're toast.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
And we're the sort of club that we try and pick out all the youngsters out of all of that group. So you probably think we'll be sniffing around him. We'll be sniffing around Diblin probably as well.
Mind you, if you remember what Ange wants, he said it himself. He basically wants 2 teams, don't he? So just say that he had Delap. he would want to take off Solanke, put Delap on, and vice versa. That's what he wants, because he doesn't put, if you notice, he doesn't seem to put subs on to change a game. He's got a plan A, and he just wants, say, for example, Bissouma starts. If he gets knackered, he put Bentancur on, or the other way around. Do you know what I mean? He does like, because he believes so much in his plan A. I want to do plan A all the way through. He doesn't really switch a game, make subs to switch a game. So maybe you could convince Delap. Be difficult.
Yeah, and look, I'd be surprised if Richie's still here. So
he'll be gone.
So you've only got, if you did buy him, you've only got Delap and Solanke up there. So,
and rumours are today.
I think all top teams need at least 3 strikers at this point.
Well, do you remember back in the good days we had 4?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at back in those days when there was like Defoe, Keane, Redmond, Pavlyuchenko, it was just like we always had crazy numbers of strikers. Even back when Teddy was there, we always just had a bunch, but we'd play 2 at a time.
Yeah, not many teams do that anymore, do they? Even though we've got a front 3, it seems to be just one up the middle, don't it?
Yeah.
Rumours are as well, strong rumours in the towards the end of the week, that Son is possibly going to be let go to Saudi.
I read something really stupid that Man United want him or something.
Yeah, but I can't see Son going anywhere else in the Premier League. I think he might go abroad for the last contract. Saudi, get loads of money.
Have we got an option for an extra year, or is he on that now?
Signed it.
Yeah, he signed that before Christmas, didn't he? About 3 months before Christmas.
Yeah, but as I said to you then, John, didn't I? I said I reckon he's only been given that to help the other man settle that QPR, and he looks pretty good actually. To be fair to him,
do you know what? I don't want to see him go sometimes.
Sonny?
Yeah, sometimes like he does change the game, doesn't he?
That's the best I've seen him in the Premier League, John, for ages. For ages.
One game does not make if the man, does it? We want consistency.
Did any of you watch the Man City game? You fell asleep, did you, John?
Who? Man City?
Man City, Liverpool just now.
Yeah, I fell asleep, mate.
Liverpool.
Did you watch it, Si?
Yeah, Liverpool. And they did. They did what I said that we did to Ipswich. We were just much more clinical.
Yeah, because I'm still not. I said to my brother-in-law here, I said, watching Man City, I still think they're going to cause us problems on Wednesday night. I think the Silvino and I think Doku will cause us massive problems down the flanks. I really do. I don't think they're that poor. I don't. I think they're gettable at the back. Like Liverpool, every time they come forward, they look like they were going to score. But they didn't seem to get out of second gear for me.
No, I know what you're saying.
A lot of people are saying, well, it's 3 points in the bag. I don't think it's 3 points in the bag, Man City. I want to win. I want to win. Don't get me wrong, but I think
do you know what? We've beaten them a lot, and it surprises me every time.
Yeah, even when we beat them 4-0, it wasn't really a 4-0, was it?
We are playing them at home at 7:30. You know what I mean? That should be playing to our hands a little bit, shouldn't it? Yeah,
you'd think so. With as I keep saying, under the lights, and hopefully the atmosphere will be a bit better there. I think. Do you know what I think? I think if we can beat Manchester City on Wednesday night, I think that would make us go on a run. Because I'm not convinced yet that we will go on a run. I'm not being pessimist, because I'm really an optimist, but I don't think the performances against Ipswich United have been that convincing, even though they were very clinical yesterday, and that's good to see. But I think if they beat Man City, they'll think, hang on a minute, we can make a good run. You know what I mean? But I do think he's going to, the Europa League is the thing now. I think we're 16 points above the drop zone now. Like Simon just said, them 3 look like they're gone to me.
Yeah, so, definitely.
It'd be nice to see us go on a run, wouldn't it, and go right up the table.
I mean, look, Southampton are completely gone. They've
had it, haven't they? They've got 9 points or something, can they? God.
And Leicester and Ipswich, they just can't put results together. So, yeah, I think that Wolves have got enough to keep them at arm's length now.
Yeah. Did you say they won?
You were looking at it, and yeah, Wolves won this weekend, and you kind of look at it and you think, if you looked at it a month ago, you'd say Everton would be one of those teams in the mix. They've pulled away, Wolves are pulling away, and you kind of think even West Ham got 3 points this weekend as well.
So, that's good, wasn't it, man?
So everyone, you look at the bottom 3 all lost, and everyone else in the bottom half didn't.
Yeah.
So everyone else moved away from them.
Yeah.
I think that's the only time I've been happy that West Ham have won. I didn't even bother looking at that score until half time, and I see 1-0, and I thought I ain't going to lose that.
Yeah, I see it on the multi-stream when it come up on the scores, and I thought to myself, "Hey, what's going?" I think they got it wrong there, haven't they? I think someone's typed in the wrong.
I would never expect, but they played a midfielder up front apparently because they haven't got no strikers.
They've been playing Marino. Marino came on in the previous game, scored 2, which completely was that Leicester. It was him, yeah. That completely flattered them in that game, and then they started up front in this game and drew a blank.
I got to admit, I did have a sneaky thing at Arsenal TV to amuse myself because I do like watching them because they all seem like plastic roadmen to me, fan blood and all that. They were going mad. They were going absolutely mental. It does cheer me up. They do make me laugh. They're making the right idiots of themselves, aren't they? You know what I mean?
They're proper plums, aren't they? A lot of them.
Arteta out. It's out again now. Bloody hell, mate. You're second in the league, and what's wrong with you?
Oh, they're money, aren't they?
Team's fault. I don't think it's actually Lego Ed's fault they ain't got a striker.
The thing is that like he had the summer transfer window, then all these injuries come in, and he had the January transfer window, and they've done nothing. It's just like they're architects of their own downfall at the end of the day.
He did admit he weren't happy with not getting a striker, did he? So that's on that Kroenke, or whatever his name is. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, fucking. What are we talking about Arsenal for, Lou?
Because I like it when they lose. We won, John, and they lost. And I love it.
At the start of January, they were right in the title race. And if
they're
70, 80, 90, 100 million, it's probably worth it to put yourselves right up there in the mix. And they didn't do it, and so unlucky.
They're bottle jobs, man.
Yeah, that's a good word, bottle jobs.
And you haven't just got one Arteta behind you crying, you got 2.
Double Arteta crying, mate.
Right, is there anything? We'll keep this one short, Tom. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Maybe Wednesday, I suppose we can give predictions. I can't remember who got it. None of us got it right, did we? None of us said 4-1, did we?
No, I don't think so. Did you say 4-1, Lou? No,
I think I said. I don't know if it was 3-1 or 2-1. I know I didn't say 4-1. I'm going to go for, right? I'm going to go, and this might be beyond all in my head because I'm on a bit of a wave now. I'm going to go 3-2 on Wednesdays to Spurs. Yeah.
Oh, you fucker. I was going to say 3-2. I'm going to go 4-3 now.
4-3? Oh, well, it's been there before with him.
I reckon 2-2 draw. I reckon.
Right, cut Simon off. Cut him out the fucking video. Quick.
I reckon we're going to go 2-0 up and we're going to balls it up.
Would you take it to
But then we've got a whole week until we play AZ away, which would be nice. It'd be nice to get a week under our belt and fully prepare for that, and really have a go at it and bring a nice kind of lead home for the second leg.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we got them and not Sociedad though.
Yeah.
So we play Wednesday. Is there no game Saturday? Because I haven't looked yet. Is that the international break? So then we got. Oh, that's all right.
It's FA Cup next weekend, isn't it? That's why we're not playing.
Was that it? Oh, that's all right.
I think 10 days is the international break, isn't it?
Is that why Ange went out of the FA Cup on purpose? That's what we are, mate. You know what I mean? Anything else you want to talk about, John?
No. Fucking we won.
We won and Arsenal. You can't get better than that.
No, perfect weekend.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. It's like the most important game in the world is the next one. We just got to we bank those 3 wins and just move on and hopefully get something out of the game on Wednesday. Prepare like demons for a week and then hopefully really tear into AZ a week later.
Yeah. It'd be good to see hopefully Van der Ven and Romero on that pitch. Hopefully not at the same time, though, at the start.
I'm wondering if we're going to surprise Man City and put VDV on at half time or something, for 20 minutes.
Don't know, do you?
No, you don't know.
You see, it'd be interesting to see what City's attitude's like, because do they come out and think, right, we have to fight for every result here on in, or do they think it's done?
Oh, because they got Real Madrid, didn't they? Is it? I swear they haven't they?
No, they got knocked out by it. They're not in.
Well, I don't really.
See you later.
But he might. Oh, he won't. Then he'll want to go Champions League. Then, won't he? He wants to get in Champions League. That's the minimum what he would expect now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it just goes to show, though, even though we was like moaning about Angela, when you look at it with a sensible hat on for once, the teams like Man City, Arsenal now are suffering a few injuries and they're just falling apart. When we've had a whole team out, like Angela, for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it annoys me when you get them pundits saying, well, like Arsenal missing, because they've got that, is it Lewis Kelly banned now for 3 games? Who was taking Saka's place. So that'll come up next week. You watch, oh, yeah, but they've got no one to fill left back. They've got injuries, blah, blah, blah. You know.
Well, it's his fault for getting a straight red, though, isn't it?
Also, but all they say about Spurs is, look, I know they've got injuries, but it's not an excuse. It is an excuse when you've got a whole team out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you when you looked at it like a couple of weeks ago, the 11 that were injured, if they lined up against the 11 that were available that we started with, they probably beat them.
Yeah,
and that's what how bad it was that the 11 that were injured probably stronger than the 11 we were actually playing. Yeah.
But could you imagine? I mean, I'll just say any team in the Premier League, if they'd have had injuries to their squad like we did, they would have done the same as us, 100%, maybe worse. So we've done well because we had the.
Do you know the weirdest thing? Bournemouth have been in a similar position to us.
Yeah, I looked into that, but apparently only 3 of their players what got injured would have made it into their starting 11.
Right.
Whereas
I remember them saying that they at one point they had 12 injuries, and I was like,
yeah, they did. But the players what we missed were first team. The majority of them were first team. On that's the difference, isn't it?
The key players as well, not just
key players. And I will say though, but there does look to be. I don't know. They must believe in Ange because the togetherness is there to see in it.
Yeah. I heard Spence. Did you see the Spence interview, Lou?
Yeah, I did after the game. Yeah,
when he said we're like one big family, and
that's what you want.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think he's. I think now we ain't got all the games throughout the week. He's had time to sit with them and train with them and talk to them. I think he's instilled something into him, hasn't he? You know,
and fair play to Spence as well, because we were close to just giving him away for virtually nothing about a year ago.
Yeah.
It's like similarities to the Bale, wasn't it? We were close to giving Bale away. We were close to giving Kane away. But Ange was saying the other night, because I don't know what it means really, but you get an interview, don't you, with Ange? But then later on, they call it the embargo section. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's just for the press. And I don't know, but that's what it's called. But you can watch that later on. And he was saying about Spence, he said, I didn't do anything. I just put it to him. He said he admittedly was a little bit harder on him, but basically told him, it's up to you, mate. Because Conte didn't fancy him at all. I think he's been outstanding. I knew he was a pretty good player. Was at Forest, wasn't it? But I didn't realise how good he was. I didn't realise this good.
He wasn't that good for any other team. He's been absolutely blinding for us.
They're all saying he should be called up for England now. Do you know what I mean? It just shows, doesn't it?
I saw something the other day saying England's best left back isn't even a left back.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Porro's going to have to step up his game now, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
Because Spence, when he was at right back yesterday, he didn't get caught out like Porro did. So even though we're all moaning, myself included, a lot say this, Porro keeps getting caught forward. And there's people like me saying, yeah, but that's what he's told to do. Spence hasn't been getting caught out. He didn't get caught out at the right back yesterday. So is Porro going on a wander too much? It makes you think.
I think Spencer's got a lot more foresight, more footballing foresight than Porro.
Yeah. But it makes you think, though, innit? When you see a decent player come into the same position as Porro, and I like Porro, I think his delivery is brilliant, but he does get caught out a lot. So
he's very much like a Romero, though. He when he plays for the national team, he's a totally different player.
Yeah, that's systems again, ain't it? Maybe just.
You know,
I like Porro, as I said, but I would probably put Spence in ahead of him and say you got.
Here's a question:
Go on.
Do you think Son's form yesterday was anything to do with the doggy?
It could have
because
been.
when they're both together, they seem to have this thing going, and I don't know whether Son just feels more confident with Udogie there.
That's a good shout, side, because Udogie, yes, Son didn't have to track back a lot yesterday. Bonjour, he didn't have to track back a lot. I mean, he was on it. I don't know if it's because he now realises he's got a competition, but it was like the Udogie of old. You know, when we first saw him, the inverted full flying up. He was just like Spence, get the ball and drive. And I don't think that Sonny had to come back as much, because every time you see Sonny, he looks knackered. Maybe because he doesn't like tracking back. He's never liked tracking back. If you remember years ago, we all moaned for Pochettino trying Son out at wing back. Do you remember that? I think it was a cup game, and he was crap. He doesn't like coming back, does he?
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Yeah. You up, John?
I don't blame him. I don't blame Son for not liking tracking back.
No, if you're a forward player, you don't want to be tracking back.
No, sometimes I watch these Spurs games with Ange lately, and sometimes I'm watching our front three, like in front of the defenders, thinking, what the fuck? I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck's going on here? Our defence is like doing fuck all. You know what I mean? And we've got the fucking...
If your Son, for example, right, you've got to track back because that's what you've been told to do. Then you sprint forward 20 metres, then it gets transitioned to, so you're back again. Then it's back, and it happens 2 or 3 times in like a couple of minute period, and then suddenly you're on the break. So you've got to run 40 odd yards after doing that last few minutes, tracking back. It don't matter how fit you are, that's going to knacker you out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, that's a good start for Simon, because Udogie was like everywhere. Yeah. And a lot of him was in that inverted bit, and Son didn't have to come back at all, to be honest. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. A lot of people don't like Udogie. I think he's all right. I think looking at his performance yesterday, it was either because he's had a break or he realises he's got competition, because that's the best I've seen him play for a while. I was excited when we first signed him anyway.
Yeah, I was 50-50 with him.
He's good, don't he? But he's...
I think the inverted fullbacks, he was always the better one at it.
He was, yeah. But I think the only one that's got to be worried now is Porro.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because when he gets into... He can ping a front ball. He can ping a cross. He's probably the best deliverer we've got, except for Maddison.
Yeah.
But no, but this is what competition for places is all about, ain't it? What all Premier League strive for, isn't it? If you don't play well. And plus, it's good for Ange, isn't it? Because now, just say he starts Udogie in and Spence. He knows he can put Porro on.
Yeah. It's nice to have a bit of rotation, isn't it?
You need rotation, I think, in this system with Ange, because it's high intensity, especially when you're in Europe and you're in the Cups. We're a bit right now, but you're paying 3 games a week. Yeah. I mean, them players, because they couldn't, there was like 12 of them, weren't there? Like, I know you got 11 and then 1, but it was them 12, them dozen players, which was having to play 3 games a week for 2.5 months with no rest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying we've turned a corner. I don't think we have, but I think that was a better performance apart from the first 10 minutes. So after the first 10 minutes, I think they were still in the changing rooms, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we'd be screwed if we do get in Champions League.
Well, because I think my brother-in-law said today, if he leaves still there, he's if we win the Europa League, he'll be in Champions League. I'm not joking, and I don't want to swear, but if we got into the Champions League, I would shit my pants, because I can see 7, 8, 9 goals going in against us.
We'd need that Qatari money sooner rather than later, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't know. He might be, he might be a bit better. He might not be as open, because I know he was for Celtic. Surely you've got to learn, haven't you?
Yeah.
He's laughing. It was you, Lee, wasn't it, when you said, "Oh, we might win that and get in Champions League"? That would be such a funny season, wouldn't it? Because I think we could win that. I generally think it. I generally think we can win the Europa League.
Same here.
Do you know what I mean? But especially when I think we can beat these teams. Did they pan out the draw so you'd see who you get next?
Yeah, so I think it's all. I think it's already all laid out.
Yeah.
When will we face Sociedad next? If we got through,
Sociedad and Man United and Rangers are in the other half of the draw.
Yeah, we'd end up in the final with Man U, wouldn't we? If they got through.
I think it's Ajax in the next round. Oh, right. If they win.
No, they ain't that good anyway, are they?
I don't think they're as good as what there was a couple of years ago.
No.
I'll tell you what, Manchester United, who did they get Rangers then? I haven't even looked at the draw.
No, the Rangers are in the other half of the draw, but they're in Man United. So if Rangers and Man United get through their games, I think that they then would be against each other.
They just sacked their manager tonight, Rangers.
Did they?
So,
Yeah, they sacked the man just before come on here, yeah. Because I think they lost to someone. It might have been St Mirren. Yeah, he's sacked. I don't know if they've got anyone lined up, but he's been sacked.
it's funny to sack him, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's either win or bust. Is that apparently out of both cups? 13 points, I think, behind Celtic, so they're not happy.
Oh,
You know
poor bastards.
Thing is, though, they gave us a good game, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They was quite strong against us, weren't they?
It was, but again, it was the youngsters, weren't it? See, I'm trying to look at the positives today because a lot of our youngsters have been through a lot, haven't they, this season? And I think it will benefit them. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to stand them in good standing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But yeah, I think we've got a good chance. But being Spursy, we'll get all the way to the final after beating Man United 3 times this season and lose.
With a Garnacho goal.
Yeah. I didn't know. I'll say that, but I think if they've got a few young ones playing in that game with a couple of experienced players, I think they're so determined. I do think that Spurs could win that if they got to final. I do think that.
Yeah, we've lost so much. Do you know what? If we get through to the final, I don't think we are going to lose.
Well, Lee's right there. There's no one to fear. There isn't anyone to fear, is there? Do you know what I mean?
No.
Because it used to be a bit stupid, didn't it, when the Champions League teams got knocked out and went into the Europa League? And I thought that was ridiculous, and I thought it was unfair. You don't get knocked out of the FA Cup and you get another chance in the Carabao Cup, do you?
No, I know what you're saying there, Lou.
They don't do that no more, do they? You know what I mean?
Thank God.
All right then, Mush, Chavi. Thanks for coming on. It's been a great weekend. And I will see you pending what the result is on Wednesday. If we get hammered, I might leave it till Thursday. Yeah. Sometimes I think it's best to not come on like a lot of the other channels do straight after the game, because I think your emotions cloud your judgment a bit, innit?
Yeah, you're right there, Lou. You bang on, mate.
You've got to sit down and just recollect your thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right then, boys. Simon, thank you for coming on, sir. I will find out where Danny's gone. Actually, the last 2 times we've won, he ain't come on.
I know. I think he's stalking Sonny or Kulo.
I don't know what's going on here.
He's on Twitter, just permanently going like that, stalking.
I might have to say to him, look, if you win, you can't come on, Dan.
He was in Bitso the other day of his knee, so we'll let him off.
Yeah, but he did say he wanted to come on tonight, but you don't know. I mean, he's got family and that. We have not everyone's like us, John. They have got lives.
Right, Lou. Fuck you.
All right, man. Simon.
God bless Dan, if you can hear us.
Yeah, and you, Dan. Shalom, Simon.
Shalom.
Let's end the stream, boy. I forgot to end it.